Hello, how you doing? And welcome to my new show. My name is Robert Gardner, and I'm the host of The Choices We Make. Let's talk about it. Let me just tell you a little bit about myself. Originally, I'm from New York City, and from a small town called Harlem, USA. And now I currently reside in the suburbs somewhere in New Jersey. And so I'm the author of 3 self-help relationship books, which I'll get into a little later. The purpose of my show really is to take topics out of my book that are relevant to your life and others, to talk about some of the issues and challenges that you may be faced with in your life, for the purpose of helping you resolve those issues and be able to move on with your life in a happy and healthy way. And today, I want to talk about what I think is a very important topic: the choices we make. Because quite often, as we get caught up in our everyday life, we're making choices so rapidly. And often, if we don't take time to stop and think about the choices we make, many times we can find ourselves in circumstances where we say, how did I get here? So today I want to speak to young people, although everybody can relate to this. As a matter of fact, I'll put myself in this experience. When I was growing up in New York City, many times my friends, so-called friends, and they were my friends, but quite often the people that we consider to be friends, sometimes they put us in scenarios that we don't belong in. And so quite often I remember when the weather would get nice and we show up at school, and it might be 8 or 9 of us outside the school, and you could kind of hear music in the background in the park. And my friends it was sort of like a circle, and the door to the school would be like right there, like about 5 feet away. And we would take a roll call, and we would say, are you going to class? No, I'm not going to class. Are you going to class? No, I'm not going to class. Then they would get to me. They'd say, what about you, Bob? You going to class? And amidst all my friends, I would say, I'm going to class. So at that time, I was making choices that was not popular with my friends, but I made choices that were good for me. And when I look back over my life now about those choices that I made, all of my friends, well, I'm not going to say all of them, but most of my main friends, that main crew, did not graduate from high school. And had I been afraid to stand up for myself with my friends, who knows where I would be today. So to the young people out there, if you're in high school or wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just understand the importance of making good choices, because we care. We want to be down with our friends. We want our friends to love us and like us, and we want to feel accepted. But what really is important is that you be accepted by you accept yourself, because quite often, as I said earlier, your friends could really leave you in some predicaments. I mean, there were times when we would be at school. When I was growing up in the 70s and the early 60s, my friends, we were experimenting with drugs, and drugs like acid, a drug that would make you hallucinate if you indulge in acid, or angel dust, which is a form of marijuana that was laced with embalming fluid. And you know what embalming fluid is? Embalming fluid is a chemical that undertakers use to help dead people, fill up where they look like they are, you know, still a person, but they're no longer with us. So what I'm really saying is, choices are so important, and you have to make choices that are good for yourself, choices that will get you through today into the next day. In other words, the choices you make today can determine how good or bad your life is tomorrow. And so I want to just say that it's important to, when you make a choice today, think about the consequences of your choices. Would you be happy with this choice? Would your mother or father or your grandmother, would they be happy with the choice that you made? So take some time, think about yourself, put yourself first amongst your friends, because in the end, I can say this for myself. I love my friends, and some of them, even 40 years later, we're still good friends. But quite often, some of our friends are not in our life long enough to really be considered friends. But those same people who come and go, they can have an influence on our life and influence us to make bad decisions that we might live to regret one day. So it's very important that you stop, take some time, think about what you're being asked to do, think about what you're going to do, and make a good choice for yourself. And hopefully, you'll make some good choices. And on that note, I'm going to introduce my new book, The Choices We Make. And this is one of the 3 books that I'll be working from to discuss all the hot topics that are included in my books. And my hope is that you'll take some time to make good choices and live a better life. So, if you like this video, would you please click you like, click I like it. Hopefully you'll become a subscriber. And this is my first show, and so I just had to deal with some of the butterflies and nervousness that comes along with doing something like this. But I'm ready, and I'll get better as I go along. So hang in there with me, and my next show will be even better. Until the next time we meet, make it a good day, and I'll talk to you later.